A Day on the Focus with Anne. Hello, history buffs and casual listeners alike. Welcome back to your daily dose of the past, present, and maybe a little bit of the future, if we get lucky. Today is March 3rd, and boy, oh boy, do we have a packed schedule. Let's dive right into this fascinating day. Way back in 473, Gundobad, a guy whose name alone sounds like a medieval rock band, decides Glycerius is the perfect emperor for the Western Roman Empire. You know, the usual Monday morning stuff. Fast forward a bit to 1585, and we've got the grand opening of the Olympic Theatre in Vicenza, designed by the architectural genius Andrea Palladio. Imagine the opening night party. Probably a lot less chaotic than opening night nowadays. Speaking of chaos, the American Revolutionary War throws in its 2 cents. In 1776, the U.S. Marines had their first amphibious landing at Nassau. And just 3 years later, not to be outdone, the Continental Army gets a bit of a whooping at the Battle of Briar Creek. Ouch. The 19th century keeps the excitement flowing. Florida joins the U.S. party in 1845 as the 27th state. Welcome aboard, Sunshine State. And just a few years later, in 1861, Alexander II of Russia signs the Emancipation Manifesto. Talk about a game changer. He freed the serfs. Finally, someone understood the whole let them eat cake thing was a little off. 1875 brings us 2 big happenings. The first ever recorded indoor ice hockey game in Montreal, Go Habs, and the premiere of Bizet's Carmen in Paris. You can almost hear the dramatic music swelling. And just 3 years later, Bulgaria wins its independence from the Ottoman Empire, a significant day in its history. Jumping ahead to the 20th century, we've got the first issue of Time magazine published in 1923. I wonder what the cover story was. Oil is discovered in Saudi Arabia in 1938. Big deal for global energy, huh? But honestly, the most incredible news is this. In 1969, NASA launches Apollo 9. We are officially in the space race, and it was intense. Now for some notable births, Jamsetji Tata, the founder of the Tata Group, was born on this day in 1839. Let's give a huge shout out to the man whose company practically runs India. And also born on March 3rd, John II of Portugal in 1455. Talk about a long history. And now for something completely different, a little story inspired by today's historical events. Imagine a time-traveling opera singer. Let's call her Isabella. She's accidentally flung back in time from 2025, landing smack dab in Vicenza during the opening night of Palladio's Olympic Theatre in 1585. She's wearing a sequin jumpsuit, clutching a microphone that inexplicably works. The audience, expecting a performance of something by Monteverdi, is utterly stunned by her soaring rendition of Carmen. News of this miracle reaches Gundobad, who, impressed by Isabella's unexpected display of power, decides to add enormous vocal talent to the list of desirable qualities in a Roman emperor. Glycerius is a little peeved. Isabella, still somewhat bewildered, decides to use her unexpected fame to sneak a few advanced farming techniques to the people, creating a tiny, time-traveling ripple effect. She never makes it back to 2025, becoming a legend whispered in Venetian taverns. And that's all the time we have for today. Join us tomorrow for another exciting episode of A Day on the Focus. Until then, keep looking back to better understand what's coming next.